きな食べ物は？趣味はありますか？すいません、年齢は？永遠に。
I'll do anything, I'll do whatever it takes to...
My favorite.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag.
So God forbid I'm seen just as an average human being. I mean, imagine if antagonists lacked any evil scheme. I'm the gap between a tragedy and comedy. Don't come at me, I'm the main character, and you have to like me.
You're so upset with me, but I'm so obsessed with you. I'm fucking crazy, I don't wanna damage you, but don't fucking test me, my mental's unsteady. Gonna kill myself, yeah, just like Repsy. Wait, I'm Repsy. Where am I? What the fuck is going on? I don't know where I am, but I'm so in love with you. You're so upset with me, but I'm so obsessed with you. I'm fucking crazy, I don't wanna damage you, but don't fucking test me, my mental's unsteady. Gonna kill myself, yeah, just like Repsy.
Judah, 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 Judah,
So our account. Dumbass. I can't even tell like who you're talking about. It's either Danny or Dexter. Either way, you're wrong. No, it's not an actual 14-year-old. It's me. It's an actual photo of me. So don't worry, it's not a stranger. Ooh. I'm too pretty to read all that, so I'm not going to.
We're a system. We're obviously going to say random things we don't actually mean. We're a system. We're going to dress really basic one day and then dress crazy the other day, you know? We're systems. We impulsively want to change our identity for a single alter and then change our minds right after. We are systems. People are obviously going to want to make out with our fictives, if they could. We are systems. People are always going to compare us to Danganronpa characters as a joke. We are a system. We majoritively have different religions. We're systems. We're obviously going to get put on a fake disorder subreddit and made fun of for the rest of our lives.
Oh, gorgeous girls await me. Okay, I think that I'll stay. Say Ari's aloof and cute, Natsuki sweet and cute, say Yuri is deep and brooding, Monika's brains and beauty.
So we're mentally and physically disabled. This should be no secret. It's a large part of our page. We talk about being autistic, ADHD, being a DID system, having Ehlers Danlos, all of that. And so much of our thought process lately has been consumed with what is happening in Gaza. And thinking about not just the casualties, not just all of the thousands of men, women, and children who are dying, but the people who will survive and what the long-term effects of what is happening is going to be. Not only is this a genocide, it is a mass disabling event. And because of it, many people are going to be left permanently, physically, and mentally disabled, even if they survive. And I think about the children who are growing up with this kind of trauma. And how many of them are going to develop severe PTSD, and how many of them are going to grow up as systems because of what is happening. DID is a preventable disorder. And so many systems are going to be created in Gaza. So many children are going to grow up dealing with things similar to what we have dealt with our whole life. And it's pretty horrifying to watch, and it's pretty horrifying to think about. I mean, many adult Palestinians are like these systems already because of growing up with the trauma of living in an apartheid. Any type of disenfranchisement will make you much more likely to be disabled. And I just think about, after the active bombing ends, what is going to happen to the Palestinian people? Are we going to keep up the same energy for them when they aren't being actively genocided in the same way, but they are being stripped of their human rights? Not that they haven't already been stripped of their human rights, but things are worse for you when you're disabled, and I don't know what this is going to mean for them, and I'm very...
Okay, do y'all remember when we were talking about, like, system-coded characters? Because if so, I just realized about another one, specifically in the FNAF franchise. Now, when I'm saying Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, I am not talking about the little Eclipse, Sun, and Moon character, because that's so fucking obvious being a system-coded character. And I don't even care if you're saying, no, don't say that they're a system-coded character, because that brings back to the DID gives you an evil alter. Bitch, I don't give a shit about that, because with that system, they're an evil system. Even Sun is evil. They're just an evil system all around. I mean, Eclipse is kind of nice, but still, they're a little antagonistic. Moon is a freak, though. They have DID, or no, they don't have DID. They are system coded. This stupid, silly robot has alternative identity, and this bitch is the evil alter. Now that we have that all cleared up, let's talk about another bitch. Today, I want to talk to you all about Little Miss Vanny Vanessa. Little Miss White Woman Jump Scare and her evil fucking persona. Now, be warned, at this part, I'm going to talk about programming and maybe Ramco a little bit, but mainly I'm just going to call it programming just to be general. If you know about FNAF and you know about this character, Vanessa, and all of her lore, like all of it, like you've watched the MatPat videos, you need to look me in my eyes as a dissociative person to dissociative person and tell me that this is not a victim of programming. You need to look me in my eyes and tell me that's not a victim of programming. When I tell you that this character is so programmed, system coded, specifically, I'm saying programmed, system coded, not just like system coded, because like we've seen, I think like maybe, what was it? Like a scrapped animation of Vanessa literally like switching into Vanny or like putting on the costume and all that shit. When I tell you that this woman was programmed, I mean it, because we know who her programmer is. This evil fucking furry! This dude's entire fucking lore is about being an evil program. There is a literal entire subplot to explain Vanessa and how she gets programmed, literally programmed, brain programmed into becoming Vanny because of this glitch, bitch! Okay, maybe I'm getting too little excited because I am personally a programmed system, and maybe I want some representation, okay? And when I say that Vanessa is a programmed system, I'm not meaning it and really, like, or not, like, saying that she is a program, or, like, I'm saying that she is program system coded, right? I do not mean that she suffers from the traditional needs to be a program system, meaning that some shit gotta happen to you. Someone has to do some shit to you purposefully in childhood to make you act a certain way and, like, have the disorder that is dissociative identity disorder. I mean that Vanessa, Vanny, her entire story, her entire character is program system coded, and Glitch Trap, the character that Glitch Trap is like programmer coded. I mean that in like a general sense, because it makes so much sense to me. It's such a headcanon to me. I really hope y'all understand. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, bye!
So we have been seeing a lot of misinformation about endogenic plurals for a while now, and we felt that it was necessary to talk about it, I guess, and shed light on what is actually scientifically inaccurate information that has been spread about it. This video is meant to be educational, not to talk about our beliefs or tell you what your beliefs should be. It's just tackling misinformation and trying to make sure educational information about it is out there. So for those who haven't seen our intro video, we wanted to make it clear what our scientific education is on the topic of psychology. We are less than a semester away from a bachelor's degree in psychology and have a lot of education on the basics that we're going to be talking about. That being said, we are not professionals. We don't have a doctorate. So if anyone is more educated than us in psychology or has research to back up that anything we say is incorrect, please let us know. Which brings us to our first point: what studies are and are not actually proving anything on the topic. The first type of study that doesn't prove anything is case studies. Although they can shed great information on experiences within the field, case studies only tell you about the individual, because every individual is different, so you cannot assume anything from a case study can be applied to any other person with similar characteristics and whatnot. Secondly, correlational research. With correlational research, there are 3 options for causation. 1, A causes B. 2, B causes A. And 3, a third factor causes both A and B. Without experimental research, you have no reason to believe that one of those options is more real than another. Thirdly, any experimental research that is solely about DID or OSDD, dissociative disorders, but does not mention any genic labels, is not relevant to the genic labels. You cannot assume, based on someone having a dissociative disorder, that they even use the genic labels or which one they would apply to themselves. Even if it says that the individuals were all traumatized, you cannot assume that they would identify as traumagenic. One misconception that we have seen a lot is that by identifying as endogenic, that the endogenic plural is saying that they did not experience childhood trauma, which is not true. They do not say that childhood trauma is what caused their system, but there is nothing about the definition that says that they could not have experienced childhood trauma or that they don't remember it. There are plenty of endogenic plurals that have talked about their experience with childhood trauma online that you can find fairly easily. Also, due to the fact that the genic labels not only talk about the system as a whole, but the individual alters within that system, I also haven't seen anything that says that in order to identify as traumagenic, that one must have experienced their trauma repeatedly or in childhood. It wouldn't make sense to have that caveat there. At least from our perspective, we think it would be weird to assume that every single alter in the system experienced repeated childhood trauma on an individual basis. Another misconception we've seen is that DID, OSDD are trauma disorders. They are not. They are dissociative disorders. You could say they're dissociative disorders with experiences of trauma. You could say
they are dissociative disorders connected with trauma, but you cannot say that they are trauma disorders. The trauma and stressor disorder chapter of the DSM did not exist until the DSM-5. Trauma disorders is a fairly new category within the DSM. Disorders are classified by their most distinct feature, which for the dissociative disorders is dissociation, not the experience of trauma. While there is correlation that exists between dissociative disorders and trauma, that does not mean that that is the most significant feature. Also within the DSM, one of the criterion in the DSM, to paraphrase, is that the plurality cannot be from a commonly accepted cultural or religious source. That means that scientists accept that there are acceptable cultural and religious sources and actively exclude them from diagnosis. Endogenic is a fairly new term, so it is not surprising that scientists are not using it, especially since it is also a community term made by the community and used by the community, and it is a term of identity. I think that's all. Thanks for listening.